Good morning, everyone. Mrs. Dahlhoff here. It's Thursday night for me, Friday morning for you guys. I've added a dry erase board from upstairs to our classroom from remote teaching. So maybe we can get a few things done with this. Just as a refresher, and my handwriting hasn't improved any, so bear with me. As a refresher, talking about adjectives, remember they modify nouns, pronouns, or other adjectives. So what that means is you could say that I'm a remote teacher. I'm your remote teacher. So remote, even though, there's my handwriting. You probably can't even see it, but there you go. Remote is a noun if it's the remote for a TV. But when we're talking about teachers teaching remotely, well, now it's an adverb. But if I just say that I'm your remote teacher, that means it's an adjective. I'm using it as an adjective, and it means that I'm teaching you over technology, which is what we're trying to get through here. In the story Where the Red Fern Grows, we're going to look at adjectives in chapter 12. I've pulled that up a little bit, and I'll walk you through a little bit of them, or a few of those anyway. Adjectives always add description, but it doesn't have to be the remote teacher, the distant teacher, the cranky teacher, the substitute teacher, the happy student, the sad student, the angry student. It doesn't have to just add description that way. Possessive adjectives are something that you use all the time. You might not realize that you do, but it's one of the first things we see in chapter 12. So I want to touch base on those. We'll go through a few of these, and then I'll let you work on your own. I'll press pause, and then we'll continue on. I'll combine the two videos again. Also, if you're looking out of the pod, if you're drawing, if you're not paying attention, I can't tell from here, but I'm guessing that some of you are, and those of you who are, you know that I know it's you. Also, for those of you that are snoozing, thinking that you wish you had a teacher in your actual own grade level class, we are working on that. So bear with us. This says made in 64, by the way. That's the year I was born. 55 years of awesomeness is what it says on the bottom. So anyway, back to this, chapter 12. And I have it on the computer screen over here, so bear with me. I have it as big as I can, but we'll try to take a look at some of these adjectives. So pull out your books, Where the Red Fern Grows, chapter 12, and let's look at just a few paragraphs before you start working on your own. And I hope you're all having a good day, making good choices. So the first sentence, the fame of my dogs. Okay, dogs is a noun, and right away we see the possessive adjective, my. So even though fancy handwriting, even though the word my doesn't seem like it's adding description, it's showing who it belongs to. So my is what we call that possessive adjective. So everywhere you see my linked to some other noun, my dog, my teacher, my pet, my school, my parents, my judge, all of those, that my is a possessive adjective, okay? The smart board or dry erase, it's not very smart. This dry erase board's probably not going to work very well for us, but we'll try. So it goes back. The fame of my dogs, we have already spread all over our part. So part is also a noun. Our is also possessive adjective, so our is part of that too. Our part could actually be an adjective phrase. Now we're getting ahead of ourselves because that's adding description of what part of the Ozark Mountains it is. Okay? They were the best in the country. So that part, the best part, that's also an adjective. So right away we see that there are a ton of adjectives. I'm not asking that you identify all of the adjectives in this chapter. Absolutely not. But we will take a look at a good first half of the chapter. I know some of you are done reading. If you're not done reading, after you do, 10 minutes or so of adjectives, go back and finish reading once we start the exercise. For those of you who are finished with your reading and the packet, I want you to find as many adjectives as you can in chapter 12, and you might find 100. I haven't worked all the way through the chapter, but I have worked quite a ways through it, and there are a lot of adjectives. Hopefully you can hear me because I have one try to do this. My husband will be walking in and expect dinner, so I'm trying to whip this out real quick. All right, so no coon hunter. Coon is the kind of hunter, so coon, it's a raccoon, but coon is an adjective describing the kind of hunter. No coon hunter came into my grandfather's store. Whose store is it? Grandfather's, okay? So it's telling us who it is. It's adding description. So grandfather, even though we can think of grandfather as a noun, a very nice noun, by the way, grandfather in this case is acting as an adjective. So remember, all these words, or many of these words, can work in more than one way. Okay, so as many pals as I did, many would also be one, by the way. Grandpa never overlooked an opportunity to brag. He told everyone the story of my dogs, my again possessive, and the part he had played in getting them. Many was the time some farmer coming to our home would say, "Your grandpa," yours also one, "your grandpa was telling me you got 3 big coons." 3 and big are giving description to coons. So there again you have it. 3 and big should be circled or underlined, or you're writing down, I guess, on the sheets that you have, would be descriptions for the coons, okay? Over in Peavine Hollow, okay, Peavine Hollow is actually not an adjective, it's a proper noun. It's a really strange name, but that's the name, it's a proper noun. The other night, I would listen knowing I only got 1 or maybe none, but Grandpa was my pal, if he said I caught 10 in one tree, it was just that way, because of my grandfather's bragging, and his firm belief. So it's not just that he believes in his grandson, it's a firm belief. So firm is also your adjective. In my dogs, and me, a terrible thing happened. Okay, thing is your noun. What kind of thing? A good thing, a bad thing, a terrible thing. So terrible is again one of your adjectives that you're going to be looking at there. I'm trying to see how much time we have. We're not getting very far into this, but I can really only upload about 6 to 8 minutes without it just taking an incredible amount of time. So go ahead. We didn't get as far as I wanted, unfortunately, but go ahead and go through, spend 10 minutes looking at this stuff, and then we'll have your detention staff go ahead and pause this for now, and then we'll start another video. It'll just be a part 2 video, and see what you have, and try to get, I don't know, I think that you should, every grade level should be able to get at least 50 adjectives pretty quickly in those 10 minutes. If you want to partner up and work with someone, as long as you're both working and as long as you're not squabbling over it, that would be awesome too. So I'm going to pause this and take a look and make sure it played all right, and then I will start the next video going over this stuff with you. So work hard, make good choices, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Bye.